Hey everybody, it's me again. Okay, so I promised you guys I would be bringing one of Jeff's buttons on to do a tutorial on. So this is a finished button. Jeff did this on pine and then stained it with a walnut stain and then finished it. You can see there is a sheen on it. So he did finish these off so that if you purchase these in my Etsy shop, you've got something finished to work with. Now I have to tell you, the one that I already did, let me go grab it real quick. I forgot to bring it in. Sorry about that, you guys. I totally forgot to bring this one in. The one that I already altered, or finished, I should say, is this one. And this one is done on MDF, not wood. So it's kind of like press board, I guess is what MDF is. I don't really know. It's got lots of glue and things in it to hold it together, but it's super strong, super heavy. So this one is a lot heavier than this one is, which I prefer this because it's more lightweight. But anyway, this is the one I finished initially, and I did decoupage it and put a little bit of trims on it. I didn't do a whole lot to change it because I still wanted it to look like a button. So this is the first one I did. And this one, of course, it says mothers are like buttons. They hold everything together. This one I'm not going to put any decoupage or anything, or, in the center. I wanted to leave it, it looks like a wooden button, and I wanted it to continue to look like a wooden button. So, we are going to put some pretty embellishments on it, but I'm not going to change the wood look of the base of the button. So, just letting you guys know that. Real quick, I'm going to read an inspirational quote. I liked this one, and I just found it this morning, and I really liked what it said. It says, be proud of how you've been handling these past months. The silent battles you fought, the moments you had to humble yourself, wiped your own tears, and pat yourself on the back. Celebrate your strength. And I know I go through times like this all the time, and I try to remind myself that, it's just the way of the world, that people are so wrapped up in themselves and their busy lives that they don't have a lot of time to be present when we are maybe suffering through some battles that we're going through. But we have to remember, just like us, a lot of those people are going through their own silent battles. And I feel like in my good times, when I am doing well and feeling good about things, and things are going sort of status quo, I want to try and be better at being present for other people. Because life is not just about me. It's about my friends and my family and other people that I might be able to help in my downtimes. And being able to help somebody doesn't always mean giving them advice. And that is something that I would like to stress. When we're trying to help another human being and they're suffering through whatever battle they're suffering through, sometimes they just need someone to talk to. They don't need our advice. Sometimes our advice is the worst thing that we can give someone. And I say that because I know sometimes we do need advice. And when somebody solicits it, I think we should offer our input if they're asking for it. But if they're not asking for it, guys, don't give it to them. Just listen. Let them cry. Let them be in their pain, and let them work through it, and be there and say, I'm here for you if you need anything. If there's anything I can do to help, please let me know. Leave it at that. Because I heard a message, I was looking at Facebook the other day, and I was going through the reels, and I heard a guy say that. He was talking about depression, people who are depressed. And he said, the words that he said, and it's true because I know I've been there, don't put all of your input or your values or your advice into what they're going through. Because most people, especially if they're depressed, that's not what they're asking for. And your advice and your input sometimes can damage their healing. So just remember, but you know what, guys? Let's be present for our friends. Let's help them through the hard times. Let's not just be, we have to be about ourselves. We have to take care of ourselves, and we have to do the things we need to do to keep us going and to keep us happy and safe and all of those other things. But when you're in your good moments, be present for somebody else and try to just be a listening ear for those who need you, because we're all going through a lot right now in these past few years, and I feel like I see more depression and more anxiety and things like that in the people around me than I've ever seen in my entire life. And I just feel like there's so many people that need a friend to kind of help them through whatever it is they're going through. And, just when you're in your good moments, be that friend. Help somebody. Be that random act of kindness that they need, So anyway, there's my rambling. But be proud of yourself. Pat yourself on the back sometimes, because you know what? Ultimately, you guys, nobody else is going to do it for us. It's very rare that someone else is going to come along and say, man, you sure did a great job there. Kudos. You just don't hear that much anymore from anybody. And so be that person for yourself, because you know what you're doing, and you know what you're doing is good. And, God doesn't want us to be boastful anyway. So, we have to accept our triumphs in silence sometimes, and that's a good thing. So take care of yourself. Pat yourself on the back. Be proud of who you are and what you've done in your life, and be okay with that. So, done rambling. Okay, you guys. So let's go ahead and get started on this. I've got some items that I'm going to be using. I have this small piece of twine embellishment that I'm going to be using. I made this sage green hand-rolled rose that I'm going to use. This is just a little bow that I had. I had made it a long time ago, and I had that. So I thought it went really well with that flower, so I pulled it out. I have one of my little dangle pieces of lace, one small bling embellishment, a little piece of lace. I have this one little piece of yarn, twisted yarn, that we're going to use. And I haven't decided yet. Well, yes, I have. We are going to use this rhinestone chain. This is a This is a 4mm rhinestone chain, just clear. And then I have this beautiful pearl, flat back pearl chain that I got from my friend Kim the other day. So I'm going to use some of that on here too. So it's not going to be crazy. Thank you, hon. It's not going to be crazy embellished, but it's going to be beautiful. I also have some of this lace here that I thought I might use a little piece of this somewhere. I may end up switching out this bow for some of this. I don't know. But I wanted to take this out because I do love this lace. And I have this one little tiny spool with a little bit on it that I got in Happy Mail. And so I'm going to possibly use that. So that's it, you guys. Those are the embellishments that we're going to be working with. So the first thing that I want to put on is I'm going to start with my rhinestone chain because I want to get the glue started to harden and cure on this so that while I'm doing the other stuff, it's not moving around. So I want to make sure that my E6000 is coming out cleanly. And actually, you know what? My husband just brought me home a brand new tube, and I'm going to go grab it real quick. Okay, I've got it, you guys. I figured if I open this new tube, it's going to come out nice and clean, and I can control it a little bit better when it's a brand new tube of V6000. So I think this is a good idea. So let me just get this open real quick. It's not always that easy to get it open. Okay, so we have a brand new tube of V6000. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this around, and you can see with this button that it is recessed. The inside is recessed, just like a regular button would be. And that's the recess is about 1/4 inch. The button is 10 inches around, and it's a 3/4 inch piece of wood. Just so that you guys know how big this is. It's a good sized button. So I'm just going to run this all the way around, just getting it right into the corner. And I'm going to take it all the way around. Got another speed racer going down the street. Okay, I think that's good. And we'll just start running this rhinestone chain around that section. Trying to keep it from turning over and getting glue on the top. And I like that I'm able to put this rhinestone chain right on this inside corner because I can get it perfectly snuggled up in that edge, and it's going to look perfect all the way around. So I'm kind of excited about that part of this. And you know, I haven't been using my rhinestone chain as much as I used to because I haven't really been doing a lot of smaller projects lately, but I still love my rhinestone chain, and I still love using it in a project whenever I can. So I was kind of excited. It just dawned on me that this would be a good trim to use on the inside of this. So I was actually quite excited when I thought about it. I'm just going to turn this a little bit, get this last little bit down and figure out where I need to cut it. And I think I'm going to press this in, make sure everything is sitting straight up, because sometimes if it's not and you have to move things around, you're going to end up short when you go to cut off your chain. So I don't want that to happen. Okay, so I need to cut this right there. There we go. Perfect. So now I'm just going to press all the way around. Press it in. Okay, so now we've got that rhinestone trim all around the inside. Doesn't that look pretty already? Okay, so next I'm going to use this flat back pearl, and this is going to go around the outside edge right here. Well, you know what? I think I might, do I want to put this on last? No, I think I'm going to go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and put this on now. And this is going to be a little harder for you guys to see me doing, unfortunately, because I have to kind of go about this differently. But I'm going to put it down the center, and I got an air bubble in my E6000. I'm going to put it going down the center of this, and I'm just going to real quick go around the entire button, trying not to get off kilter there. Just like this. I think you guys can see this. Now I need to hold it up and do it so that I'm not dragging the other side across my tabletop. But I want to take it all the way around so that I can just wrap this around in one motion. And I'm almost to the end here. There. Okay, got it all the way around. Close up our E6000 so it doesn't get all goopy on the edge. And I think I'm going to start right here and just work my way around and hope it doesn't slip as I go. But this E6000 is pretty great because it starts to cure relatively quickly. So while it might slide right now as I work with this and go around, it will start to stick better. And in fact, I think what I'm going to do is maybe take a couple of these, or at least one right here, put a little bit of hot glue on it, and set that one down. And what I should do is every once in a while, as I go around here, I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue on a pearl. So I think I'm going to put some right there. Trying to make sure I keep this in the center of that piece of wood. And if I put that little bit of hot glue every now and then it'll keep all of these other pearls in place. And again, I'm trying to do this without touching the E6000 as I go around. A little bit of hot glue on that one. Okay. I think I need to unravel this. Thank you so much, Kim. I just love this pearl trim. It's going to be used quite a bit, I have a feeling, because it really is a nice trim, especially for something like this, where I'm going around the entire piece. And a bit of hot glue. And keeping it going right down the center. And if for any reason I get a spot where it's not right in the center, it'll be all right. I can always pull that. I see a spot where I didn't get much E6000 right here. I'm just going to add a little bit. Add a dot of hot glue. And there we go. Now, if I was smart, I would be using my Lazy Susan. And this would be a whole lot easier for me. But I didn't grab it and pull it out to do this with. I'm just going to put a little dot of hot glue right there. And I'm almost at the very end here, so now the key is hoping that the number of pearls, well, it's a little bit, there's a little tiny gap between these last two pearls, but it's okay. I mean, it's teeny tiny. I will make it work. Okay, so now I'm just gonna kind of go around the edge here and play with it just a little bit to make sure these are in the center. And I have to point these towards me, you guys, I'm sorry. But I have to be able to see the whole thing. Okay, so now we've got our pearls all the way around the outside edge, and you can see right here is where I've got that tiny little gap. So we'll figure something out with that. I honestly don't think it's really going to matter much, if I'm being honest, when the whole thing is said and done. So, okay, so we have our rhinestones, we have our pearls on, and it looks beautiful. Part of me was wondering if I ought to put, since I did the rhinestones there, I was considering putting rhinestones around this edge as well. But it's a whole lot harder to get it on there straight on that edge. And I kind of just like the wooden edge. The other thing that would be pretty is to use maybe like a little bit of trim, and I had this green trim, but then when I got to thinking about it, number one, it looks like it kind of wants to cover up some of my writing on here, and that is something I definitely don't want to do because some of the lettering runs almost to the edge, so I don't think that's a good idea. So we're going to leave that alone. Then what I want to do, I am going to really quick make a bit of a bow with this lace. And let's see, this is going to be the smaller part, and we'll go a little bit bigger with the next part. And that's all I'm going to do with that. Cut that off right there, and I've just got 2 loops on each side. So I'm going to take my hot glue, and I'm just going to kind of glue this together in the center. Glue this last little piece down. Okay, so that's all glued down. And then I thought what I would do is take this little lace piece, I'm trying to pull this piece down, and put it in the center of that. And then we have a nice little fluffy bow that's got the 2 different kinds of lace. Just like that. So I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to glue this on the front, right there, right in the center. So there, I have my bow done. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this is, first of all, it's got a kind of a frayed edge here, so I'm going to cut that off. And I'm going to take some of my hot glue on the bottom side and just put it on there so that I can hold that down and hold it together so that it doesn't fray anymore. Just like that. And then I think what I will do is I will take my little torch here, my tiki torch, and I'm just going to touch the end of that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I wanted to make sure it's narrow enough, and I'm going to have it go across like that. So I think I'm going to cut that right about, I'm going to put some glue on it. I like to glue it before I cut it, and usually I try to remember to do that, but the last time I cut it, I didn't do that to the edge of it. So I've got that glue just kind of going across the bottom there. And let me get it hardened. Okay, so let me hold that down. And I think I'm going to cut that right about there. And tiki torch it just on the end here. So there's one piece. We'll tiki torch this end a little bit. Okay, and I'm just going to measure this. Well, the next one might need to be a little longer because it's going to go over the top of this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another piece of glue out here. Get the fuzzies off my glue gun. I think these buttons are awesome, you guys. I was so excited when Jeff showed me the design on the computer. And he asked me, he says, what do you think of this? Do you think your crafters would like it? And I got so excited when I saw it. I was thrilled. Now, you could also take something that's a little thinner and more pliable, and you could just wrap it around like you would a normal button. But because of the way this twine is, I didn't think that was going to be real workable. And I'm going to take a little bit of glue and just run it down the center of this, right there, so it will stay good and flat when I go to put my second piece over the top, because it's going to crisscross over that one. So I kind of feel like this might be a little bit too long, and I don't know how I'm going to cut this. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to just put a little dot of hot glue on that, and I'm going to push it through and push it right up against the inside of that hole, just like that. There. I just thought this would be really pretty. I know it doesn't really look like thread, but I thought the design was really pretty and it would have a nice little impact on the look of this button. So that's why I chose this. So this one, let's see. I think I'm going to be cutting this right around that spot there. So we're going to put our glue on there to help it not fray. Okay. And let's see, we want it to go there. And we're going to cut it right about there. I'm certain that's going to be okay. And I still have a little teeny piece of that left. Okay, so let's just get a little bit of glue on this and pop it inside the hole. And normally I would not be using these scissors to do this. I don't know why I'm using them, but it's what I've got in my hand right now. And then I'm going to use some glue right across here so that I can kind of press this down like that. There. And then we'll get it into this other hole. And I definitely made that longer than it needed to be. So I'm going to cut that right there. And that should be good. I'll put a little bit of glue there. And a little bit of glue there. And we're just going to shove that in the hole. Just like that. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so we're almost done. The next thing that I'm going to do is I am going to use this flower right here that I made. And I just used a piece of ribbon that I cut in half because it was like I'm going to say like a 4-inch ribbon. Silk ribbon, and I cut it in half, scalloped it, burnt the edges, and rolled it onto a piece of felt. But that was already made, so unfortunately you guys didn't get to see that process. But that's okay. And I thought I'd put a little piece of that lace in there. And then I think I'm going to put this right here, and we're going to pop that in the center of it, I think. You know what? I know what I didn't do. Darn it. I didn't tie anything around the middle of this wide lace, and now I don't know if I'm going to get these apart. Goodness gracious, how am I going to do this? Okay, I don't see that I have anything that I can wrap around that real easy that's going to match. Hang on a second, you guys. I think I might have a little piece of yellow ribbon that I might be able to use. Oh, of course I didn't put that in with my other ribbons here. Goodness gracious. Oh, here we go. Aha! I got lucky. This will work, I think. This is just a sage green piece of curled ribbon that I have. So I think we're just going to take that, tie it around the middle, and tie a nice snug knot so that the center of this pulls in. And I really truly meant to do that initially. I should have just made this bow like I've always made them and tied it and, you know, done the usual, but I didn't. I did it the easy way. And that's why I usually don't do these the easy way, because they almost never work out. Okay. So there we go. Oh, let me just cut off this scraggly bit here. Okay. Okay, that's better because now it kind of pulls in the middle and it doesn't look so awkward. And then put that in the middle. And we've got to be careful not to cover up any of the words on the outside. And then I want to take this and have it sort of come out the side right there, like that. Isn't that pretty? So let's go ahead and we'll start gluing these things down. I think actually I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue down this bling piece first. And I'm going to get it in the center there, not covering up the comma and either of the words. Then I'm going to put this down and decide which way I want it to go. I think I want it to go like that. Yes. And so you can see I just used a piece of green felt. There's a little bit of glue lint on there, but that's okay. Nobody's going to ever see that. And I want to put a decent amount of glue on this so that it stays in the right place, just like that. And that's going to come out right there. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and add just a dot of glue to that. Doesn't need more than that. And then you'll take this bow and put that over enough so that it doesn't cover any of our lettering again. We need to be mindful of how we're placing everything on these so that we're not covering up anything that's important. And the wording is definitely important on these. A little bit of glue on this piece to put in the center of the bow, like that. I'm sorry, I'm just getting some glue out of my fingernails here. Can't stand that. Okay. That looks really pretty. And I think, honestly, little piece of glue. Oh, no, it's not. It's the shimmer of the rhinestone. So I think that's it, you guys. That is all I'm gonna, oh, no, it's not. I have to put my hanger on. And so what I think I'm gonna do here to make this work the way I want it to. Now, remember that this pine wood is not super heavy. So I don't need like ultra strong hanger. It just needs to be something that it can hang from and be... Okay, so this is going to be my center right here down the middle of these buttonholes. So I just want to make sure that these are equal on the sides. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these felt circles and I'm going to glue it down right about there. And I'm going to take this piece and I'm just going to put a dot of glue there and have it coming straight up. Just putting a dot for now. And then we're going to put this felt piece over the top of that with plenty of glue. And I'm just going to put it right over the top. And that way, when you're gluing fabric down, it's going to stay a whole lot better. And actually, here's what else I'm going to do. I'm going to take a little bit of E6000 on the edge of this bottom piece of felt, just in a couple of spots. And I'm going to wipe that extra off and press it down. And that E6000 will ensure that it's not going to go anywhere. Now on this next one, I'll make sure that I get more of that E6000 on that side. But I'm going to take it and I'm going to hold it like this and sort of decide where my center is. And I'm going to put my... Yep, I like that. So we're going to put our first piece of felt down and we're going to put a little bit of E6000 and some hot glue. And we've got our piece of felt going down. Just like that. And then I don't need any more of my E6000, so we're going to close that up. We're going to put this piece down. Just kind of lay it down the center there. And then oh my gosh, I have a little piece of fuzz that I can't make release itself from me. Okay, got it. So this one we're just going to put some hot glue and put it right over the top and just squish it in there really good. Just like that. I'm going to take my torch and just torch that little bit of glue so it doesn't show. Okay. So now I've got my hanger, which is this cool twisted yarn. Hopefully you guys can see that. I love this yarn. And we are all done. There we go. So that's what it looks like, you guys. That is the finished button, and it is super cute. What a super great gift this is for someone you love, for a mother you love. And it can hang all year round. So I hope you guys liked this video. I enjoyed doing this one. It was fun. I just wish I had my mother that I could give one of these to right now. Jeff and I, neither one of us have our mothers around anymore. So it's really unfortunate, and it's really, really hard on Mother's Day to not have your mom around. Man, do I miss that lady. She was awesome. And I miss Jeff's mom too. She was my best friend. So unfortunately, I lost my mother, who was my original best friend, and my mother-in-law, who was my other best friend. And it's really, really hard when you lose those people that you love so much. But you guys who have mothers or daughters that are mothers, we're actually going to do some of these for our girls. We've got 4 girls to give to. Well, yeah, really 5. So Jeff's going to be making some more of these to give away as gifts. And we'll be all set for Mother's Day too. So thanks a lot for watching, you guys. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I would so greatly appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you get notified when I do future videos. Got a lot of great stuff coming up, you guys. I've been racking my brain trying to find projects, and actually recently they've been falling in my lap. So I have stuff that I've never done before that, well, things that are similar to things I've done before but never done before, that I think you guys are really going to like and enjoy. So have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Be safe, be well, be kind, and be blessed. And I will see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned for pictures at the back end. Thanks, you guys. God bless.